What's up? What's up? Happy New Year. Hope everyone is off to a great start. And if you have set that New Year's resolution, I hope that you can see it through. Okay, super excited about today's episode because I feel like it's something we all struggle with. Like, in being real, a lot of the things that I like to share with you guys, I feel like we can all totally relate. So today's hot topic is about jealousy. Why jealousy? Because it actually shows up in OCD and is a compulsion. Yes, there is a such thing as OCD jealousy. And I'm super excited that you're here on the Bossing Up Overcoming OCD show in the start of 2025. This show has been going a year strong, and I would very much appreciate a review, 5-star review for the show to keep it bumping up the list. That way we can share more of this information with more people. And speaking of New Year's resolutions, a lot of you may be going to the gym, trying to shed a few pounds. Well, what if this year you decide to shed the weight of jealousy? Jealousy can weigh you down, it can weigh down your relationship, and it really prevents you from building a deeper trust with your true love, but also with yourself. And I'm also going to be telling you about my Obsess Less, Love More program that's ramping up and starting this year. No need to pay right away. All I'm looking for is for you to enroll and just see if you are interested in joining the program. This is going to be an awesome opportunity to connect with other ladies dealing with relationship worries, relationship OCD. If you've never had a diagnosis, don't worry. You are still welcome to enroll, and you can enroll in my Obsess Less, Love More program at livebeyonddoubt.com. Jealousy is truly one of those things that it would feel so nice to not experience this year. Like, starting this year fresh in 2025, we're going to make a change. We are going to flip the script on the jealousy. Not going to have it anymore. And let me start by defining jealousy, because some of you may be wondering, like, what is jealousy? Side note, a lot of times OCD people, they want to be sure that they know what we're talking about. Or I've talked with plenty of OCD sufferers who are even like, can you repeat what you said? Because they want to be sure they heard it correctly. And essentially, at the end of the day, OCD is all the same. Yeah, so we're going to really break this down about jealousy. So what is jealousy? Jealousy is an emotional response where you feel a perceived threat to your relationship, particularly to a romantic relationship. But, you know, in being real, like, I've even experienced it in friendships. Man, I was on the struggle bus hard in elementary school. We couldn't be a 3 pair of friends. This perceived threat could be real or imagined. And the reason why you're wanting certainty around your relationship is because this jealousy is actually rooted in the fear of losing love, losing attention, losing security, losing a friendship. So let's talk about those sneaky ways that jealousy can show up in your relationships, and hang around till the end where I give you those actionable strategies. That's the way I like to structure the show. So if you're new to the show, I like to give you a highlight, an intro in the beginning, and then towards the end, you're going to have your action items and a summary to help get you on your way. But ultimately, y'all, I hope you get into coaching or therapy. Whatever your path is, I really want you to get the support that you need. And maybe 2025 is that time for you. Those sneaky ways that jealousy shows up in relationships include constant need for reassurance. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You're wanting reassurance that your partner loves you. You may also ask them if they love or are attracted to, like, that other person that you're potentially jealous of. You know, jealousy and envy to me are very similar, and you may hear those used interchangeably as I talk throughout today's episode. But if we want to be real clear, because I know that's how y'all like to roll, jealousy is the emotion of the perceived threat, whereas envy is you are wanting something that someone else has. And envy is more like the grass is greener on the other side mindset, like wishing you had your friend's relationship, wishing you had your friend's marriage. And then going back to jealousy, you're afraid someone is going to take what is yours. The jealousy is totally going to rain on your parade, where you're going to fall into that trap of comparing. And that comparison can show up like comparing yourself to your partner's exes. And it could be even coworkers or their hobbies, like, oh, they enjoy hunting more than they do going on a date with me. When this is, again, likely very false narratives that are spinning up in your brain, creating some stress for you and a loss of connection with your partner. You could also notice some unspoken resentment where you're holding on to anger or bitterness for some scenarios that, again, are coming from those false narratives. So let me give you an example. That unspoken resentment could come up if, let's say, you're seeing another girl pop up on your boyfriend's feed, stories, etc. So imagine like a few months ago, you see a girl, maybe we'll call her Emma, and Emma is showing up on your boyfriend's stories, and maybe she's liking all of his stuff and leaving comments, and you know that they work together, and so it's hard for you to be chill about it because then you're starting to feel different, you're feeling uncomfortable. And every time your boyfriend brings up Emma in conversation, the logical side of you knows that it's unreasonable to be upset, like there's no evidence of them cheating or her trying to take your boyfriend from you, but you're feeling it on the inside and you can't shake the feeling. And so instead of addressing it, you will start to get irritated or snippy about maybe anything, but more than likely you're going to get snippy about any conversation revolving around Emma, or maybe you're going to start to say something, even though, or you may ask a question of like, is there anything between you and Emma? Your boyfriend will try to put your mind at ease, but he's going to notice, right, that like you're suspicious or like you're upset, and he doesn't want any drama. Like, you see where I'm going with this, right? And so this resentment builds, and it's like an invisible wall between the two of you, because in a way you feel like your boyfriend could have reassured you differently, or maybe you just don't believe him. And your boyfriend could feel confused and frustrated because he can't help who he works with, and he can sense that you're feeling, or that you're acting distant. Now, if we were to take this a step further, your jealousy could go as far as trying to take control. Maybe you are setting strict rules or boundaries for your boyfriend, your husband, your significant other. Those strict rules could show up like not texting the opposite sex gender, or if you're homosexual, then bisexual, all the things, like you're going to be setting up rules like you can't text so-and-so. It could be constant location sharing, restricted social media use, maybe some more boundaries around your friendships, like you can't stay out or you can't hang out with so-and-so, or you can't go to any work events without me. So as you can see, all of these checking behaviors, the asking for reassurance, the resentment, the comparisons, the control, it really starts to undermine your relationship. It doesn't help you truly build trust. As you've heard me say before, all of these things are compulsions that are feeding your OCD, and that is only going to make things worse. Jealousy can feel super unpleasant on the inside, and it really makes you feel small, right? It almost reminds me of the scarcity mindset, as if there's not enough value in your own worth in the relationship, as if you're not enough for your significant other. You know, the other thing I was thinking about in preparing for this episode, did y'all ever see a TV series with Khloe Kardashian called The Revenge Body? Yeah, I watched it for half of an episode and I was like, I didn't really find it all that entertaining. And it seems like I was not alone in thinking that, because it was rated 3.5 stars out of 10 on the IMDb website. So what Khloe did in her show is she helped fans who had gained weight to try to get revenge on people from their past. And I don't think that, like, that's not healthy energy. If you're going to lose weight, why not do it for you? Why are you still giving a person in your past power? And so one of the episodes I watched was a girl who was trying to get back at friend from high school. And I'm like, why are we still hanging on to this? Like, why don't we work through that and do things for you? But yeah, it was all about getting revenge on people. And I'm thinking, again, like, everyone's going to live their lives no matter what. No matter what your weight is, people are going to live their lives. I think the sooner you can step out of the jealousy and the envy and really step into your own value and own your worth, that's when you'll see change. The reason OCD jealousy is a thing is because of all of the compulsions that show up, as well as the obsessions. The obsessions are those intrusive thoughts. And if you're spending more than an hour a day in this cycle of worrying about the thing, checking on the thing, you might have jealousy OCD. So let's start to step into those strategies to help you in beating this thing. All right, first of all, I think just having a name to this can be very liberating, because who knew that jealousy OCD was a thing? So just acknowledge that it exists, acknowledge that you're spending too much time and energy on this, and that you're ready for a change. Next, you can recognize the thoughts, okay? And start to imagine these thoughts and come up with whatever visual works for you. I've heard of plenty in working with my clients. Like, for example, that these thoughts are in clouds that are drifting by, or these thoughts are in cars that are driving down a highway. These thoughts are on a boat that's sailing away far off into the ocean. Create that separation today. They are only thoughts, and those thoughts, those narratives, those stories are not serving you. They're not. Don't bring them into 2025. Don't continue to let this go on another day. And if you are really struggling with these thoughts, and support is available. Now, you can also really look at, what am I afraid of losing? More than likely, you're afraid of losing your significant other. With OCD work, we can do a couple of things to help you with that fear. Exposures can be really helpful, and I totally get that they can feel upsetting and challenging at first, but with the right kind of support, you can handle it and you can move forward in not allowing these thoughts to show up in your relationship and to create distance and heartache and toxicity. So some of those exposure exercises could look like writing down the triggers. And when you're writing, that helps you in getting it out, but it also helps you in visualizing. And sometimes the brain cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. So we are going to purposefully bring your mind to those observations, to those scenarios, because likely up until this point, you've done a lot of things to try to avoid it, to try to control it, but now we're going to allow it in, if that makes sense. Another exposure exercise could be like, all right, you're going to go to an evening out or a friend gathering or what have you, and you're going to see your boyfriend interacting with Emma, and you're not going to watch. You're not going to monitor. You're not going to check. Yeah, I know. It almost like you can feel the energy like, oh my gosh, how would I be able to do that? But you're going to resist asking for reassurance. You're going to resist checking. The other thing, you may have noticed that your thoughts are trying to neutralize your fear or, help you feel better. Basically, that's what I'm saying by neutralize your fear. So you've got some thoughts going on that are trying to help you feel better, where you're saying things like, my partner probably loves me. Even if he likes someone else, he really wants to be with me. It's a whole bunch of confusing mess, right? So instead of trying to rationalize it or seek reassurance, we're just going to repeat that thought. And you can record it in your phone and then play it. But I want you to record it. Here's the thing. You need to record these thoughts multiple times until you start to feel less anxious about them. And then that's when you hit stop on the recording. Then you're going to play it and you'll see the difference in how you felt from the start to the end. And what happens is you are less triggered by these thoughts. They truly become like those passing clouds. And it's like, oh, I'm not even worried about that anymore. Okay. And if you are the type to check your partner's location or phone or text or social media, you are going to delay, skip, and decrease the checking. So depending upon how much you check, Maybe you set a personal best goal of like, I'm going to wait. Okay, so when I feel the urge, I'm going to wait 5 minutes. All right. You could start there. Or it could be like, all right, I normally check, on my lunch break, but I'm going to skip today. I'm not going to check my boyfriend's socials on my lunch break. So you're going to skip. Main thing is you start to get out of that cycle. You're not feeding the OCD, and you can start to be yourself again and to really focus on things that you value. Maybe actually call your boyfriend or text them or FaceTime them and be like, hey, what's up? Just thinking about you. Love you. Bye. All right. And that just kind of gave me a random thought of how much more beautiful that is to truly connect with your boyfriend versus you steaming and getting worked up over, oh, I saw Emma comment on your photo today. Worst case scenarios are another exposure strategy. Yes, they suck, but you can handle it. And what happens is, it's not that you're wanting this to happen, but you are allowing yourself to not get so nervous about it, so anxious about it, because right now you're doing a lot of things to try to control it, but we're trying to get this thought to really turn down the volume so that it no longer bothers you. You don't even feel compelled to ask for reassurance. And lastly, one of my favorite things is to practice gratitude, because gratitude just shifts you into that abundance mindset, at least in my opinion, because when we start to be grateful or we're looking through a lens of gratitude, it's like all of a sudden the sky has opened up and there's so many things that we could be grateful for and wonderful things that we may have not even noticed if we were stuck in that jealousy mindset. And truly, with the abundance mindset, it's all about really feeling and stepping into that space that there is more than enough of everything. And you are enough. There's enough love, success, and opportunities to go around. And this can help you in letting go of that scarcity, of that jealousy, and truly embracing trust, gratitude, and growth. So some opportunities for gratitude might be like celebrating your partner's work achievements. Eventually, you could get to a place where you're thankful that you can trust them without getting constant reassurance. You could be thankful that your partner has hobbies and multiple interests and loves to take care of themselves. Like if they go to the gym and spend a long time at the gym, man, good for them. That's awesome that they are taking care of their body and their wellness. And another interesting shift is how you could view conflict as an opportunity for you guys to continue to learn and grow, build a stronger relationship. Now, I'm not encouraging disagreements and all the things, but I hope you understand, like, most couples reasonably have conflicts. And just because you have a conflict or an argument, if you're in the abundance mindset, you won't see it as failure or like a sign of failure. Okay. All right. So glad you're here. And in summary, we were talking about the OCD jealousy, and jealousy is that emotional response where you're feeling threatened. This could be real, perceived, imagined type of threat where you feel like something of yours is going to be taken. Envy is whenever you are jealous of what someone else has. So I can kind of see how those can be different, right? Because jealousy, they're going to take your stuff. Envy, you want to take their stuff or you would like to have their stuff. But we really focused on the jealousy OCD, and I really want you to think about this for a little bit. Like, how long do you want to carry jealousy in 2025? And if you are looking to shed some weight this year, shed the weight of this emotion, because it is very toxic. And I truly encourage you to step into the abundance mindset, the growth mindset, have some gratitude. And we talked about Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body TV series, how it was such a flop because that toxic energy that's not going to motivate you. And I don't think people want to watch that. I don't want to watch how people are jealous of other people. So, be careful of where you spend your energy. And that is the same goes for OCD. Be careful where you spend your energy, because, you've heard that advice, be careful who your friends are. Well, be careful of how you spend your time, because if you are feeding your OCD, it's only going to grow. And we talked about some strategies to help you break that cycle, to step into a place of mental freedom, of peace, ease, and contentment. If you enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate a 5-star review. so that we can get this show lifted on search results and out into the world for other people to hear this stuff. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the fear of abandonment. I think that's going to be a juicy topic too, because we all have our attachment issues from time to time, right? So if you have been struggling with that what if they leave, that episode's going to be for you. Every episode is released on Fridays. And hey, if you find yourself in this boat of jealousy or attachment issues or mindset problems and you're really struggling in your romantic relationship, sign up for my Obsess Less, Love More program at livebeyonddoubt.com. You will enroll into the program. You'll have an opportunity to ask some questions before getting started, but it is a 12-week group where we're going to meet for 90 minutes once a week to help you move through as a group, as a collective, in helping you find that deep fulfillment with your true love. All right, y'all. Happy to have you here and hope to see you back again next week. Bye.